Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio, and FS1. 1 hour from now, Greg Cosell. Do you bet football? Do you play fantasy football or just love the game? Greg Cosell, NFL Meat Sandwich in 1 hour. We got all sorts of breaking news happening today, all sorts of car chases. Car chases don't always end in car crashes. Sometimes there's a nice little resolution into a police department or something, so we don't know what's going to happen in Brooklyn. It's a lot of noise, I'll tell you that.
It was a crazy day yesterday.
It was.
And this morning is getting even more intense.
It is. So let's just talk. James Harden wanted out of Houston. He's out of Houston. Now he's in Brooklyn. I don't know what's happening to Kyrie Irving. But it is your typical NBA blockbuster deal. 4 teams, 5 draft picks, 4 draft swaps, and 7 players. And only one matters, James Harden. Rest of it, nobody cares. Nobody cares. If James Harden, if and when he gets into shape, KD, James Harden is interesting. Championships, no, but it's interesting. I think we can officially signal the end of the Kyrie Irving is a franchise guy. Kyrie Irving is a build-around guy. Those days are over. I don't want to waste any time talking about Kyrie. I'm not going to project or I'm not going to guess. Who knows? His best friends don't know what he's doing. But Brooklyn, number one, Brooklyn had to make this move. Why? Because Kevin Durant can opt out in 1 year. Okay, after next year, he can opt out. He's not sticking around for crazy Kyrie and a bunch of, bench guys. Number two, this also signaled that Brooklyn and KD now acknowledge we picked the wrong running mate. But again, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about Kyrie. This is all about James Harden. James and Kevin Durant, 2 of the top 7, 8 players in the league, maybe 2 of the top 5 or 6. And I think they're very, very interesting, and they'll be very good when he gets into shape. And he will. He'll get into shape. But what this really illustrates to me, the difference between LeBron James and Kevin Durant. For years, there was this inane argument, and it went on for like years. Kevin Durant's better than LeBron. Oh, that's so sad. No, forget, because one guy can shoot a better jumper. No. Kevin Durant couldn't make Kyrie Irving work for 3 weeks. LeBron made it work for 3 years. And that is the difference. In the NBA, let's just take stars, top 12, 15 player. There's only 2 groups of them. There's LeBron and Steph. Husbands, fathers, dads, men, selfless, smart, businessmen, emotionally strong, intellectually strong, physically capable. LeBron and Steph. Build your franchise around them. They're grown-ups. Give them the keys to the franchise. Then there's the other group, 10, 12 guys. Super talented. Unbelievably gifted. Some of the best players in the history of the game. Kevin Durant, Westbrook, Kyrie, those guys. Kawhi Leonard. Many of them unraveled in the bubble. Couldn't take it. As LeBron rose to the top of the league. That's what we have in this league. LeBron and Steph, give them the keys to the franchise, grown-ups. Other guys, they're just gifted. By the way, nothing wrong. Some guys don't want to be leaders. But this whole situation tells you Kevin Durant couldn't make this thing work for 3 weeks. The idea that Kevin Durant was ever LeBron, there's more to basketball than shooting jumpers. There's defense, there's teamwork, there's passing, there's doing the interviews after the game. There's the face of the franchise responsibility. There's making trades work. There's elevating draft picks. There is working with your coaching staff and your front office. LeBron and Steph can do that. And then it's just talented dudes. But Chris Broussard talked about KD yesterday. Talented, but what else?
My opinion is that he let all the talk about, they were cheap championships, there's an asterisk there, anybody could have won those rings. And I was in that boat too. I believe he was great, but, that team was stacked without him. I think he let that get to him and want to go somewhere else where it was his team and prove that he could win rings on his own. Again, I think he denied it, but I think that's the case. And here's the thing, Colin. KD, as great as he is not a leader. He's a follower. And he picked the wrong guy to follow.
99% of the stars in this league, they're just followers. LeBron and Steph, here's the keys. You'll get it done. I mean, Kawhi couldn't even create decent chemistry with that stacked roster. The chemistry went into the tank. And listen, it's KD left the Warriors because he wasn't getting enough credit when they won. Now he goes to Brooklyn, and if they win with Kyrie and Harden, once again, he's not going to get all the credit. And now it's like a three-ring circus. But the difference is LeBron is playing chess. Everything is strategized. Everything is thought out. Every business move. Beats headsets, Lakers, Cavs, Heat, coaches, players, draft picks, free agents. Between Maverick Carter and Rich Paul and LeBron James, they are 8 moves ahead of the league. LeBron is playing chess. KD and the other stars are just playing checkers. Just make an impulsive move to take a piece. Not really thought out, not any great strategy, just kind of bouncing around, moving around the league. Can I win this game? Can I take that checker? That's it. There is such a gap, and I know it's a cliche, but there's such a gap from what LeBron's doing and KD's doing. Stuff is so thought out and so smart. I mean, LeBron had this Anthony Davis deal. He had this thing done like 2 years ago. They had this thing wrapped up 2 years ago. And by the way, when LeBron went and got Anthony Davis, he's the perfect teammate. LeBron had it so thought out. Anthony Davis is quiet. LeBron doesn't like to protect the rim. He wants to get out in the fast break. What's Anthony Davis do? He's one of the great shot blockers of all time. He's one of the best defensive bigs of all time. LeBron, and the personality works. The game works. I mean, Joy and I talked about this. LeBron and AD, literally the first week, you're like, what? It's perfect. It's like they're brothers. They've been playing together for 20 years. Like LeBron is he's in a different galaxy. He makes everything work. He won with David Blatt. He won with Eric Spoelstra. He won with Ty Lue. Now he wins with Frank Vogel. KD couldn't make the Brooklyn thing work for 3 weeks. It's interesting. I've never turned off a car chase. Ever. I watch them to the end. And I'll watch Brooklyn to the end. All right, so this weekend I was told by a source at Ohio State that Urban Meyer was going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars job. And now the NFL Network, I think there's 4 or 5 people reporting that Urban Meyer assembling a staff, and he's going to take the Jags job. First of all, I think Urban Meyer owed himself this. He's 56 years old. One of the great college football coaches of all time, and as good an analyst in college football as the sport has ever seen. He's 56. What is he going to golf for the next 30 years? Be an administrator at a Big Ten school? He owes himself this. He is younger than Sean Payton and John Harbaugh.